after you retired back in the 90s, you sort of disappeared for a while, and you kind of kept low. Was that on purpose, and why did it happen?
I've always been pretty low key anyway. Even when I was, on the front of all the magazines, and I was Mr. Olympia, I kind of like to have my own space. And I think when I did the bodybuilding, it was so all-consuming. The way I did it, I just like pretty much put everything to the side and had tunnel vision with it. So then when that whole thing was over, I needed some kind of time to adjust and really find out who I was outside of that, So I had to step away a little bit and, do some other things and live life. And outside of that very restricted kind of lifestyle that I was living when I was an athlete,
Who was the one guy that you always looked out for, possibly coming after you?
There were a lot of guys there that were very good during that era. I think it was the era of had the most talent, and the depth of that talent as well kind of came together in the 90s. I mean, you had Flex Wheeler, who was phenomenal, and probably I felt that he could have probably he'd probably reached his potential, at least when I was competing. He had a car accident in '94, and he wasn't known to be the most disciplined guy on the circuit. So Flex was incredible and potentially dangerous. Kevin was great as well, and Shawn was very good. And then towards the end, Nasser was getting to be my competition. So it depended on the year, but I didn't really focus too much on that. I was just trying to do my best every year and trying to improve in some way if that was possible on what I did before. So any of those guys could be dangerous, if I was really off or something.
It's funny you mentioned Shawn, because I just recently spoke to Shawn, and he said that he deserved to beat you. I think in 1994 and 1996, he thought he beat you.
Talking about that, man, like 20-something years later. Get over it, man. It's like a couple of years, 94 and 97, both those years I had injuries, so I wasn't at my personal best. But even not at my personal best, there's no way that Shawn Ray is going to be able to beat me. It's like, there's a few poses that even if I'm a bit off, I can't be beaten in. I can't be beaten in the front lat spread, the back lat spread, the back double bicep, and the side tricep. So there's 4 poses that really I couldn't be beaten on. So even if I'm a bit off, Shawn couldn't beat me in those 4 poses. So 4 out of 7 mathematically says that I'm winning, even if I lose the other 3 poses. So, and then you got the other round, which is standing relaxed or semi-relaxed. Maybe I could be beaten from the front. I'll accept that. It wasn't my best pose, but from the side I couldn't be beaten because I had such depth and thickness from the side that other people didn't have. That just made them look smaller and less powerful. And from the back, of course, I mean, I don't even need to talk about that, really. It's a game over. So even if I was off, the competition only had a chance to beat me in a small amount of poses. Front double bicep, I could possibly be beaten, or a side chest maybe, or abs and thighs if the other guy was really on and I was, But otherwise, I'm not getting beaten in those poses. My structure and proportions and overall size and condition was just too strong. So yes, I was a little bit off in '94, and if Flex Wheeler had been there and he had been at his best, then I would have had real problems. But Shawn Ray at 100% cannot beat a Dorian Yates at 80%. And the Sandos are sitting right there on the side there. So I'll send a picture to Shawn, you can have a look.
How did you see the sport change after you retired?
Well, it didn't change that much immediately. I mean, the biggest change was that Ronnie became Mr. Olympia, which was, I think, was a little bit unexpected. But I always recognized Ronnie's potential, and definitely he was getting noticeable in '96, '97. Bodybuilding is my thing that I did, and I studied, and I've had every magazine, I've had every book, I've had every DVD, and I was like a fan all the time. And it's something that I study and I know very well, and I can see potential. And I knew that Ronnie had more to give, more potential. Whether he would achieve it or not, that's another matter. A lot of people don't, but he did. He got his act together, and that was a big surprise, really, for everybody. Was probably thinking that Flex would take it, being that I'd retired and I wasn't there he would be the favourite, I guess. And it was a bit of a shock that Ronnie won, and probably, I think rightly so. He looked great. And, Ronnie brought in what I built on, really. He was even bigger and heavier on stage. And the first few years in very good condition. Of course, the later years he wasn't as good, and at a heavier body weight he wasn't looking so good. I think he'd admit that himself. So, Ronnie was maybe a step up, if you like. But after that, then I think the sport and the quality of the athletes and so on has declined for various reasons.
What do you think is the main reason why it declined?
It's almost like I believe bodybuilding almost reached critical mass with myself and Ronnie. And, everybody was then trying to aspire to that, huge muscle mass because, I won 6 Mr. Olympias, Ronnie won 8. And, we were pretty much the biggest guys on stage, in proportion and in shape and everything. So we set the bar very high, but not many people can do that or are able to do that. So people were trying to just, come in big and come in at certain body weights and so on, and the whole quality was gone down. And for me, the whole spirit of the sport has kind of gone down. There was a time when guys would really pride themselves on the workout in the gym and how much they could squat and bench and all this kind of stuff. It just really seems to have been gone now. Guys are just really interested in the cosmetic result and the appearance rather than taking some passion in the process that it needs to get there, The whole thing is about getting in the gym and training hard and lifting weights. That's how I did it. That's how Lee Haney did it. That's how Ronnie did it. And guys now, they're more interested in taking a rest and taking their picture on their iPhone and putting it onto Instagram.